One thing that I can tell you is there's a lot of brokers that can manipulate charts, they can manipulate the price, they can manipulate these things, you know what I mean? That's actually quite easy to do. Sure, like especially there's one red flag. That's like where guys are pushing you, sign up with here, sign up there, you know what I mean? Sure, like no stop loss, it's like, sure, like doing certain things with no condoms, you know what I mean?
Another installment of Market Masters, where I sit down with the most prominent and talented traders in the game. And today I am joined by someone who's been in the game for quite a long time, actually. Yeah. I'm really excited for today because I think you're one of the very few people whose name is heard across the industry from the other side of town, which is my side, that side. So when you say Robin, it's like, I know Robin. No, I've got Robin Benting with me today. How are you?
Thanks so much, man. Thanks so much. Great to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure.
But no, all good today, actually. Quite keen for NFP this Friday.
So you trade fundamentals?
No.
Yeah.
So especially CPI, NFP, and PPI. Like I view it, but I won't. I won't have any trades open.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. But what benefit do you have of just viewing it, of just being rather not placing any trades during?
Yeah, like the thing is, because especially when before the data comes out, right? No one knows like what data is gonna come out. So when you are trading, you can be like, how can I say, gambling in a sense. Sure, like a lot of guys have like fundamental strategies and things like this, which is cool, you know what I mean? Like people do what works for them, so sure, perfectly fine. But key thing is no one knows the data exactly when it's going to come out. So you can get lucky a few times and everything like this, but when the data comes out, you can actually gear the direction afterwards, you know what I mean? For the week ahead, for the month ahead, especially with like NFP numbers, with PPI numbers, with CPI numbers. Yeah. Because these are like essentially the three biggest like news data releases. So what happens is they will gear the direction for the coming like days and weeks.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's great. Trading without fees. Now that's possible with Octa. Octa has no commissions on deposits and withdrawals, no swaps or fees. Get your gains in full and earn more in the long run. Trade with spreads from 0.2 pips on majors, metals, and indices and more with Octa. Execute orders always at market price and withdraw money on time when you need it. Conditions can't get any better with Octa. See for yourself. Use the promo code TOPTRADER and get 100% deposit bonus. Trading made clear with Octa. So basically what you're saying is that the guys trading fundamentals are
essentially could be seen as gambling. Like I know there was a few mentors that I'm sure like back in the day, right? This is like 2015.
Okay.
What they used to do was like before NFP hits, you have a buy limit and you have a sell limit.
Oh yeah.
Right. So when these two hit, like of course, like within the direction, you would be, like in the right direction, you know. Like if the thing goes up, your buy limit hits, or your buy stop hits, and if the thing goes down, your sell stop hits.
But is that not like rather the safest way to do it?
Yeah, but the thing is, the brokers, they got smart.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because like back then we haven't seen as much slippage as we do now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I still remember clear as day, like it was 2015, like I was in my shop back then. and I still placed the buy stops and sell stops and everything. Like I even wrote a script, you know what I mean? That you just put on the chart and then it will insert it like like automatically. Then of course, like it would get hit easily and things like this, but plus at a specific price. But a few months down the line, when it became more popular, when guys started to do it, this was like 2017.
Yeah.
Right? Then you would see the slippage happens. So let's say you set your buy stop here, the price shoots through, sure, like it would only be activated on this side, yeah. You know what I mean? That causing, sure, like of course the guys to actually be in a loss, you know what I mean? Because NFP, like it shoots up and it comes back down again.
No,
sure, like most of the time.
When you say slippage and you also say the brokers got smart, are we implying that the slippage is not really, because slippage happens, if I'm not mistaken, I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, slippage happens because the market kind of tends to move a little bit too fast and price catches up. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Yep. So but you're saying that the brokers also got smart.
Yeah, thing is of brokers, right? Yeah. And sure, like we're not gonna mention any names here or anything like that. But thing is of brokers, especially for one that I worked with, like quite a few years ago, is where I discovered you can actually, on top of the normal market slippage, you can actually add more slippage.
Gee,
you know what I mean? And the thing is, like I think it was about 6 months back, like I was trading with this broker, like local SA broker as well, right? And on every single trade, there were, like there was quite a bit of slippage.
Yeah. The
weird thing is when I contacted their support, right? Like I asked them, guys, there's too much slippage on my account. You know what I mean? Like the funny thing is they could reduce this.
Right, on the chart.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so when I traded again, where my stop loss was set, this is where it was hit, you know. So that's why like a key for every trader to actually review the history and see, cool, like I set my stop loss here, and this is where the price got executed. But now the issue, like in SA. We don't trade with stop losses. So we wouldn't even know like if we're getting slipped.
That is so true. Yeah. I mean, this land we live in South Africa, it's a land of the lawless because stop loss is like it's very taboo. It's become very taboo, right?
Exactly. It's sure, like no stop loss. It's like like doing certain things with no condoms, you know what I mean? But yeah, because the issue is you're not protected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at all, like we saw, I think this was in 2017 or 2018, when the Swiss franc crashed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of banks that were not protected. They were not hedged or anything like that. There was quite a few guys who crashed as well. You know what I mean? So these are just the key things. Plus, if you tell me that you're using risk management, how are you calculating your lot size with no stop loss? You know what I mean? Because that's the first key thing in calculating your lot size is knowing exactly, okay, cool, my stop loss is 500 points or 40 points or
but I don't think our guys look at pips and points anymore. I think they rather looking at the monetary value now. It's about the risk is associated with how much I'm willing to risk. That has become like the main anchor of risk management, as they call it. It's like a blown account, which as well, you know, and even if you can't really depend on a margin call to be like your, yes, I get it. You can move money to the wallet, cool, and then move a certain portion to and be like, I'm willing to lose this much. Okay, that's cool. But I think a lot of guys won't really catch what you're talking about, especially in terms of slippage, because there's no, like you said, there's no stop loss for them to go back and actually look right there.
Exactly. But the thing is, like, especially, I'm sure, like, this is my opinion.
Yes.
Right? If you have, like, funds in one account and funds in another account, and the funds in the account that you're trading, you're willing to risk it all.
Yeah.
Right? Sure, perfectly fine. Like I said, like certain things work for certain people.
Yeah.
But the problem is that will this last like on a long-term basis? You know what I mean? Will this add to your psychology? Will this add to your discipline? Will this add to your consistency? You know what I mean? Because thing is, like with the human brain, is if we take a certain loss, you know what I mean? There's something that triggers inside there. You know what I mean? There's some weird hormone that gets released, you know? And the more loss that we take, the more trust issues we get. You know what I mean? So that's what causes what the revenge trading and things like this, because once you like suffer like a certain amount of losses, or you blow a small account or whatever like that, the like what tends to happen is the guys want to now risk more to make up for those things. You know what I mean? But if you have one account that you're actually trading consistently with, like you can actually compound your money that way, like on like a much better basis. You know what I mean? You can track it better. You can actually see your growth better. But now you're moving funds back and forth and everything like this, and you're winning this day, then you're withdrawing, then you're losing, then you're winning.
It's just a mess. It just seems like there's no plan. And yes, they might say they have a plan, but
exactly.
Yeah. So sorry, just speaking about the slippage as well. Like, what do you match the data against? What would you say is the best source to match your broker's charts against which charts? Like,
so the one thing, that's one massive question, and actually thank you for that question. The one key thing with brokers, most charts will be different.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
That's normal. Why is it normal? Because every broker uses like a different liquidity provider. Every broker uses like a different technology provider, right? Now, what this causes is that on this broker, I'm sure like this candle may be a bit longer. This price may be, I'm sure, like slightly different. They're all getting it from different sources. You know what I mean? The only place that you will get the pricing from one source, that's the futures market, right? But with the FX market, because it's, I'm sure like it's like over the counter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no central place like the futures market. You know what I mean? So the FX market, there's hundreds of different liquidity providers and everything like this, all providing different price feeds. You know what I mean? So when it comes to slippage, and when it comes to how can I say, when you compare charts, this could be different, because you can have someone that has like an MT4 account and they're comparing it with, let's say, TradingView. You know what I mean? This could be different because there's different brokers, like I'm sure, like also like on TradingView as well. You know what I mean? But the key thing is, when you look at your own price feed with your broker and you check your history, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see where have you set your stop loss, and where was that stop loss actually executed. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure like there are times when you will see like a few points different. Yes. Right. But the red flag is when it's 10 points, 20 points difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is where you will actually catch that you are getting slipped multiple times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what this causes is, when you have a stop loss of, let's say, like this thing is $10. With some slippage, like it's for like 10.5, small amount. When you have a TP of, let's say, $20, but where it actually hits is about 19.5. You know what I mean? So small amount, especially for the brokers, it's not just on one order, but it's hundreds of orders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So meaning brokers are paying less when it hits take profit, and I'm sure like they're making more when it hits stop loss.
Gee.
Yeah.
That is scary. That's quite scary.
Exactly. That's why like it's actually key to stick to one broker that you trust.
Yeah.
And then also know, cool, like these guys are actually I'm getting normal slippage. You know what I mean? When I have a stop loss at a certain place, like it's actually getting executed there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, like the same thing with my TP as well and everything like this. Because the one thing that I can tell you is there's a lot of brokers that can manipulate charts, they can manipulate the price, they can manipulate these things, you know what I mean? That's actually quite easy to do, you know. It's not something difficult to do. Like if I see, okay, cool.
You saying that is like, gee. You saying that it's not difficult to do.
No, it's not difficult.
I think that's the scariest. That's the scariest part of your statement right there.
The key thing is, for especially the brokers that is very easy to do for, these guys, they don't care about their reputation much.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You must know, like if a broker has been around for about 10 years and things like this, they care about the reputation.
Yeah.
You won't let one client mess up your whole reputation.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean? But we often see brokers like on social media, the mentors are complaining or the clients are complaining, right? But they're deleting comments, they're doing this, they are paying mentors to make more hype about something else. They're giving massive bonuses that makes up for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But key thing is when you actually go to a broker, it's like more like a matter of what service am I getting? You know what I mean? Am I getting the proper conditions?
Yeah.
Because you will often see with the brokers, especially here in SA, right, whereby they will give you so much things, but all of these things are making up for the things they are doing in the background. You know what I mean? Whereby they actually like they give you like let's like a 300% bonus. You know what I mean? But when you actually start trading on that bonus, like it's a fake bonus first of all. When you start trading, like of course you're getting slipped quite a lot. You know what I mean? Plus like your margin levels are not where they need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like all these things are quite a bit of a contributing factor.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess while we're still on the topic of brokers and whatnot, we might as well just go to the manipulation right now, because we are talking about manipulation in a sense right now. Is this how brokers are manipulating clients? One of the ways, or how are there any other ways that brokers manipulate clients?
The thing is, like I'm gonna split this in two parts.
Yes.
Right? I'm gonna split this in two parts. So from the broker side, right? From the broker side, yes, there are ways that I can say brokers do like in a sense manipulate clients, right?
Okay.
Like especially like at night, right? You know, when we have market changeover, right?
Yes.
About 12 o'clock, like at night. Of course, spread increases quite a bit, right? But now you get brokers that they will increase their spread by like 5 times, 10 times more than this.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's one way. Second way, of course, more slippage. Third way, of course, is whereby they see you are, and this is actually quite scary, is where they see you are, like you're losing, right? You in a bit of a drawdown and things like this, they reduce your leverage, right? They reduce your leverage. There are some brokers who actually call you to kind of force you to open positions.
Okay.
Right? Which I know there's one broker that's actually under investigation for doing that, right? Whereby they call their clients, they're quite aggressive on their clients and things like this, to get them to trade more and things like this, you know what I mean? So these are all like certain ways that brokers actually do it. The funny part is, and this is where I'm sure, like for me, like it's actually very funny, is especially for SA, brokers don't need to manipulate the client's side at all.
Okay.
Because they actually do it themselves by the style of trading. You know what I mean? It's like the gambling type of behavior and everything like this, which is very popular. You know what I mean? Because what I've seen, like in my experience, it's like a client that will fund, let's say, $500 now today. Like back then, and I'm talking about 2015, 2016, it would usually take a client, let's say, 3 months to actually blow his account.
Yeah.
right? Like a normal type of guy that's just learning or everything like that, 3 months. Now their time has taken from 3 months to 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Because they are sure, like they have mentors that actually push them to trade, that actually push them by giving like a lot of signals either, or why? Because also the mentors are getting paid through this trading activity. You know what I mean? Because the sad thing is, it's like, I'm sure, like I deal with a lot of IBs and mentors and things like this, you know what I mean? And the first key thing they want to know is, okay, cool, like how much am I getting paid? How can I get more stuff like this? You know what I mean? And for a normal broker, it's like for the IB to get paid more, the spread has to increase. You know what I mean? So that's why you will see also spreads are elevated, things like this. There's a lot of things that are not client focused, like with especially the local market. You know what I mean? Which is a very sad case. That's a very, very sad case, because you get guys that come, I'm sure, like that come into the country that offer a much better service. They offer sure, like a lot of benefits that will actually help clients succeed, right? And actually help like especially traders succeed. But the sad part is traders won't go to that brokers because their mentors are not with them.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
That
Because
is
their
so
mentors
true.
are not there. And why? Because these brokers, they have high standards. They don't want to pay up front. They don't want to give a lot of things and everything like this, you know. But it's a sad thing, like in our country, honestly. It's a sad thing. But when we come back to like manipulation, sure, like I said, brokers can manipulate you. Right? Brokers can manipulate you. But on the client side also, like the trading behavior, this is sure, like it's a huge contributing factor. It's a huge contributing factor.
Can we really continue? Because I know one thing a lot of guys tend to do is blame their reckless trading on manipulation.
Yeah.
I know. Can we really always blame manipulation?
Not really,
Yeah.
Not really. To be honest with you, sure, like it's how can I say, like it's a case by case thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's a case by case thing. Yes, if you, I'm sure, like if you have a buy, right, and sure, news hits, the price shoots up and you trying to close, but the market is so volatile that it can't secure like a price, right? Then of course, like your trade won't close. You know what I mean? And it will close like at the next available price. You know what I mean? Now for the especially for the SA market, the first thing people scream, the broker, sure, like these guys are manipulating me or doing things like this or doing things like that. But there's a lot of times where it is just a market. You know what I mean? It is literally just a market.
No, that's shocking, scary. But like I said, you've actually been in the game since 2014, correct?
2014.
So about 10 years now.
Yeah,
10 years in the
10
game.
years, 10
years. Obviously, let's talk about, let's go take it back right before maybe 2012, 2013, just before you got into the industry, and the factors that led you to the industry as to how you found yourself in Forex. Let's talk about that.
Exactly. Yeah, like I was actually, sure, like I actually started, like I can say, hustling back then.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was in varsity, like I studied chemistry. And when I saw some of my friends, they, so I had a few friends that was like 2 years older, 3 years older. They all graduated and they started jobs that their starting salaries was, I think 4,000, 5,000. My mind straight, like I was in a panic. I was like, so you telling me I study for 4 years, right? I stress here with this thing. Long hours, long exams and everything like this. So much pressure. When I go work, I'm getting 4K for the month. Like, and sure, like that's just traveling cost, man. It's literally traveling costs, you know what I mean? And sure, like I thought, like I need to make a plan, you know what I mean? Like I need to actually see, you know? And sure, like of course with this world, you know what I mean? Like it's either sure, like there's one of two ways. It's either you're a buyer or you're a seller. You know what I mean? It's either you're working, you're buying, or you're selling. You know what I mean? But sure, like with that in mind, like I dropped out. I dropped out. I had some money. I started like a website business, like making websites for like a few small businesses and everything like this. But I actually did it with a bit of a twist because I thought, nah, like I'm not going to charge you once off for a website. I'm going to actually charge you very cheap for the website. Right?
Yeah.
But for like, let's say the updates for the website, like I charge you per hour. You know, so a lot of guys, they had the basic websites, but I did it for businesses that needed updates every week, like car dealerships and things like this. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't target like the normal businesses that had no updates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that would screw me over in a sense.
True.
So I went to like a few car dealerships and things like this. Said, okay, cool, like the smaller ones. You know what I mean? Here's a website for $500. When you guys need updates, so per hour you guys pay me $400.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where for them it was like, okay, cool, like $500 for a website. You know what I mean? But at the end of the month, sure, like these guys would actually pay me like 3-4K for the month, you know what I mean, for these updates and everything like this. So which is quite cool. But then afterwards, I bought a shop as well. I bought a shop, so it was like an internet type of store, you know what I mean? And from there, like I saw the usual gurus, you know what I mean? That was back then, like Sandile Shezi, them and everyone like this. Like Kobus Kemp was like there as well. When I saw these guys, and they actually made it seem so easy, you know what I mean? They made it seem quite a bit easy as to, sure, like you click buy, the price goes up and you make a profit, you know what I mean? You don't have to do anything, you know what I mean? When I actually started looking into that, like it was quite enticing in a sense. Because of course you sure, like you're playing with with the financial markets, you know what I mean? Like it makes you feel like you're part of like something bigger, you know? Like from there, like I think it just literally snowballed. It just literally snowballed from there.
Okay, so now you find out there's the Forex market. So what is your first step to get into it? How do you learn it? What do you do to gather information around that period?
Hey, perfect. Back then, like I actually got an ebook from a broker. Like it was Introduction to Forex ebook. I scanned through the ebook. I spent about a few weeks through that thing. I think it was like 300 pages. Sure, like I wanted to learn, you know what I mean? Scanned through that. I looked for some mentors, like more mentors. Because of course, when I looked at like the guys who were like on social media, you know what I mean? And I thought, if you were making money, why do you want to sell me so much things? You know what I mean? And I thought, okay, cool. Let me check for the guys who actually focus on education, who focus on these type of things. You know what I mean? Like I found the company back then, Gizmo Forex. They had like fee signals. You must just like sign up like for their service and everything like this. That was actually quite cool because when I followed their signals, they actually taught risk management. They taught like patience with the market and everything like this, which couldn't really because these were things that you can't read about in an ebook. You know what I mean? Because all of these sources tell you, okay, cool, you mustn't be greedy, you mustn't, you must be patient, you must discipline yourself, you know what I mean? You must be consistent. But the practice of this is very different, you know? When I joined these signals group, I was like, okay, cool, how do I actually do it on my own? Nah, because I was thinking like, sure, like what if this guy's sick? You know what I mean? You can't trade today, so that means sure you're not making money, plus I'm not making money as well. You know what I mean?
Everyone's not eating.
Exactly. Sure. Like I asked the mentors actually, like, can you teach me the strategy that you use to generate these signals and everything like this so I can do it myself? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, after that, I actually said, okay, cool, we have a class and whatever, you can learn how to trade this way. Went to the class and actually traded on, traded on my own. But especially after that, the usual thing came in, right?
Okay.
When you turn I think I went from about $100, it was to just over 1,000,
Yeah.
right? Your mind sparks because, okay, cool, then I can do 1,000 to 10,000 and then 10,000 to 100,000.
The calculations, you're already doing the calculations on the spot.
Yeah, like you're doing the calculations on this side, you're looking for cars on this side, you're looking for houses on this side, you're thinking, like I'm gonna retire everyone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna retire every
The whole family is sorted for life now.
Exactly, because from like 100 to 1,000, like I did it like in 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought, okay, cool, 3 months and another 3 months to 10,000, another 3 months to 100,000.
The math is done.
Yeah, exactly. Plus then the USD ZAR rate was, I think it was like around 10 to 11 Rand.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So 100K was just $1 million. You know what I mean? I was like, like this is what I need from there. From there, we can just go like 50,000 to 100,000 like this the whole time. And we see, we make money every month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like that was the dream. When I started with that plan, the first week, I blew my account. I blew my account.
But this was after the 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Now you went from 100 to 1,000
Yeah.
and then the 1,000 within how many? Sorry, within a week, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, within a week, gone.
Within a week, gone. Why? Because I thought, okay, cool. Like, can we shorten the time maybe to 2 months or 1.5 months? You know what I mean? Because first, like I used to, I'm sure, like from the 100 to the 1,000, like I only used to take like 0.01, 0.02s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I used to stick to my targets and everything like this. But afterwards, you get greedy, you get impatient.
Yeah.
You just wanna, because now you don't see the 1,000 to 10,000. You know what I mean? Now you just see that 10,000. You wanna get there as soon as possible. Why? Because this is gonna get the Lambo, this is gonna get the Porsche, the house, and everything.
Yeah, but do you think this is a cause of not knowing what you're doing? Do you think? Oh, well, let me ask you like this: do you think at the time you knew what you were doing to try? And I get it.
Yeah.
You know, logic says 100 to 1,000, 1,000 to, which I think a lot of people do the calculations, which logically it should work like that, but psychologically it's not supposed to work like that. So do you think there's like a lack of knowledge that we don't really have, where we end up just increasing our risk because it's like, hey, I get it, it's supposed to go from A to B, from B to C.
Exactly.
But B to C, it's not the same as A to B.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now that's true. But the key thing is win ratio. You know what I mean? Back then I used to have like, I think it was out of every 10 trades on average, like I used to lose about 4. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now, the thing is, if you think about it, you don't know when the losses are going to come.
Yeah.
Right? So if you decide, cool, like I'm going to risk like 20% per trade, 4 trades, losses, you lose 80% of your account. You know what I mean? When you're left with 20% of your account, you can't really make up that quickly, because now you have to reach actually 400% to actually get back up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like this was the actual issue, was that when I did this plan, I thought, okay, cool, let's risk, let's make it big, and then we take it from there. You know what I mean? Which is why especially especially like I say, when it comes to risk management, that's one of the most important things.
Yeah. All right. No, that's great. Yeah. Okay. So one thing I know that I was really intrigued, I'm really intrigued about to get into, is the fact that account that you blew was correct me if it was the only time you blew an account.
Yeah, that was the one account I blew.
Yeah.
That was the one account I blew, and I never blew an account after that.
Now that is rare in the land
Yeah.
of South Africa.
Yeah.
That is extremely rare.
Yeah, the thing is, from that account, I learned a hard lesson.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I learned a very hard lesson because, sure, like $1,000 may not seem like much, right? But that was a lot to me.
Yeah.
Right? And to lose that $1,000, like I went back on my mistakes. You know what I mean? Where I realized if I, first of all, stick to my strategy, if I stick to my risk management, I wouldn't have to suffer this big loss. Small losses are okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you have capital to especially when you have a good capital. You know what I mean? But sure, like really blowing your account, you must be doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You must be doing something wrong. And so like since then, like I always knew, like if I only like traded small capital, like I knew exactly my risk and everything like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the key thing is with these days, like like with other traders, like I see it every day. Risk management and things like this is like it's it's far from them. You know what I mean?
But
It's
a
very
lot
far
of, but a lot of guys are preaching risk management. What do you have to say about that? Because I see there's a culture right now is that regardless of how you're trading, I think I don't know if they're just using risk management as a selling tool for a lot of people. When somebody comes to these guys, essentially what they go to is like, hey, your risk management is not correct.
Yeah.
But then again, you go and look at their trading, and it's like, how can you preach what you're
exactly.
not particularly doing?
Yeah, like that's the thing, like especially with mentors these days, right? It's like if sure, like if you were like a mentor, my first question was, please show me your trading history.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But also, like in the back of my head, like I would understand that you teaching something does not necessarily mean you can do it yourself. You know what I mean? Because especially with mentors these days, like the one thing I can tell you, sure, like a lot of these guys are not trading at all even. You know what I mean? Sure, like they're trading some test accounts or demos or things like this, but real live trading, sure, like quite a few of them, they're not doing this even. They're not doing this even. And how can you trust someone that I'm sure like he's teaching you how to trade, right? But he doesn't trade himself.
I hear that conversation right there, and I think I literally just asked somebody, someone I think yesterday about that.
Yeah.
But they're very transparent. They're like, hey, look, I'm not a trader, but I'm an educator, so I'm here to teach. So, which I do understand and I appreciate. It's the honesty of that. I get even in school, you find that in varsity, your lecturer.
Yeah,
he's not particularly in business, but he's gonna go and create some really brilliant business minds and push them out into the world, and we get some amazing people who start things, get doctors as well. You understand, lawyers, people who aren't particularly. So it's really conflicting for me now in the industry that we're in.
No, but the key thing is transparency.
Yeah.
If you're not a trader, you're just an educator, right? Communicate this. You know what I mean?
But you see, I think also the public is wrong at this point because everybody wants to be taught by a trader.
Yeah, because they want an example. You know what I mean? But the thing is, sure, they want to be taught by like a trader.
Yeah.
But what really attracts them, right? Is the lifestyle, is what they show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like especially like a personal story, like a very popular trader in SA. Very popular one. Like I worked with him for a while and everything like this, right? There's one in SA and there's one like in Africa as well, right? The lifestyle that they show, he's not really theirs, you know what I mean? Meaning the cars that they drive, the houses that they stay in, sure, like this is not paid by them. It's paid by, sure, like either like investors or brokers, so to say, because there's a lot of brokers doing this right now. These guys are paying it all for marketing just to attract guys in. To sign up through a link, to generate some rebates, and to generate money for the broker as well.
Yeah.
And especially and with this type of model, we have it flooded in SA.
Yeah, it's all over. But obviously, I can see, from the broker side, the broker kind of benefits at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Which I can see that. But the one thing is that if it's not the broker, if it's an investor, how does an investor benefit from all of this?
Sure, from the rebates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, of course, and this is diving more into brokers, certain deals that they do with the mentors as well, is... I don't even know if I should say this.
Come on, we came all the way to Cape Town. We came all the way to Cape Town for this one right here.
Yeah, so there's as I say, we're gonna upset a lot of people with this thing, man. Yeah. Now, okay, let's get real, man. Let's get real. First, let's get comfortable. Let's get real. So there's brokers, right, in SA. And this is the scary part, right, is where you get mentors pushing guys to certain brokers and moving them here, moving them there, right?
Yeah.
But you get deals within brokers, right? So it's called P&L deals, right? Whereby, and this is the scary part, is whereby the broker and the IB, right, they share within the client losses. You know what I mean? So, especially how this happens is where, let's say like an investor comes in, right? And we can attract, let's say this house even, you know what I mean? We get a few nice cars, we brand it nicely, everything like this. It's all leased, you know what I mean? I have huge marketing campaigns. We attract everyone. You know what I mean? Signals, this, that. But if we know we have, let's say 1,000 people that's funding, 1,000 rand, right? What is this? 10 million, 1 million, right?
1,000.
So
yeah, the math is not mathing in my head.
Nah, but 1,000 times 100, it's 100,000. So 1,000 times 1,000, it's 1 million, right?
Okay.
So when these clients lose, right? When these clients lose, the broker and the IBs, they share in these losses. You know what I mean? So this is one way, especially you get quite a few of the guys that the IBs and things like this that people actually look up to. You know what I mean? But how can you have a mentor, right, that he benefits from your loss?
Yeah, but these deals though, are they really that popular? Because yes, I know P&L deals. Yes, I get what you say. But how popular are these particular deals amongst the mentors?
So far this year, I have rejected, I think, about 30 P&L deals.
Gee.
Yeah, because me personally, I hate these type of things because they're not client focused.
Yeah, no, not at all.
They're not client focused at all. How can you service a client, right? Having one of our, the agents call them, knowing that your mentor is looking forward to you losing. Okay.
Now let's talk about from the clients right now. How do the mentors, or how do these fake mentors? Yeah, let's put it correctly. How do these fake mentors kind of insure the losses? I think that's the part I never really understood though. Is that how does one ensure that, hey, I can guarantee you losses? Because it's a 50-50 at the end of the day, whether you're trying to win, whether you're trying to lose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, people follow other people blindly.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's weird, right? Me and you, we will be a bit smarter. But you get people that's so brainwashed, so to say.
Yeah.
right? That when people say buy with everything you have, like NFPs, right? We have a lot of NFP events,
Yeah, too many.
so much NFP events, so much NFPs that lose at those events. Like,
But even with that though, even if you invite over people and you have a P&L deal as a fake mentor, you invite over people and say, "Come guys, let's trade."
yeah.
How do you ensure? Because right now you gotta get the direction wrong.
Yeah, like it's sure, like it's all of 50-50. All of 50-50. All of
Yeah.
50-50. But the thing is, what I've seen, like especially with these mentors, they have like it's almost like they live in a bubble, you know? They live in a massive bubble that they know they're gonna get this right. They know they're gonna get this right. But if you, I'm sure, like if you teach your client,
Yeah.
if you teach this person, listen, you risk this amount. Sure, like if you sell them this type of dream, you know what I mean? You can be a millionaire within X amount of days or things like this, you know what I mean? People will chase for that. While they're chasing, they will burn their money in the process. Literally, they will burn their money in the process.
Yeah, and I think that's why we find so many people just after a while, they don't want to hear anything about Forex. They just like, yo, man, I'm never going back there
Exactly.
again. Because I think so many people get burnt to a point. But like again, it's also because of the bad apples.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then there's quite a lot of bad apples.
There's so much bad apples, man. It's like, and sure, like my only thing is like a lot of these bad apples, they're the popular ones.
Yeah.
They're the popular ones.
I'm actually shocked that you're saying you rejected 30 P&L deals for this year.
Yeah, like this year alone. This year alone.
That is a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So people actually, because we've been offered a P&L deal, we've been offered, but we rejected it obviously because, man, it's just like, it's not for the people. But I never really thought about it that people actually go out of their way to go and find these particular P&L deals. I mean, look, there's rebates. Why not just rebates?
My it's like, especially with the guys these days, right?
Yeah.
Rebates is almost like old news. Rebates is old news. When you speak to an IB, literally, I'm sure, like, okay, cool, like, you give me rebates, but I'm sure, like, what else? You know what I mean? Which is sure, fine, but I'm like, especially the demand with IBs is a lot. Is so much, whereby you will get guys, because of course they have a business now, they expect the broker basically to cover their business costs, marketing costs, give me monthly payments, give me rebates as well on top of this, you know what I mean? And sure, like the demands are just getting higher and higher and higher.
It's like a snowball effect because I'm sitting here, we're talking, I'm just like, all right. And I think it's also the problem as to why our industry is like, I feel like our industry is at a point right now where it's stagnant. It's failing to move to the next level because right now people would rather go and get P&L deals. And those particular guys going to get P&L deals, we're just living for the short term. Because understanding, if you actually understand rebates and understanding that if you educate a client properly and adequately, and that client is going to trade a good 5 years under your link,
long term, good.
You're going to eat like for a very long period.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than just like, because a P&L deal is meant to destroy the client.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like, yo, let the client's done, let's move on to the next one.
Exactly.
And I think that's why these guys work so hard to get brand new clients instead of kind of servicing and the ones that they have and making sure that, hey, look, that guy, cool. And you never know like that. What if somebody has like R1 million, 10 million rand to deposit into account? I mean, you get someone like that.
Exactly.
The rebates you get from there are crazy. But I think a lot of guys are just, people don't think. People are not thinking. People are just like chasing the lifestyle. They're chasing the quick money, the fast money. And
thing is, especially with like society, like as we have it today, most guys want the fast money. Most guys want the, how can I say, like the instant gratification.
Yeah.
sure, like if they do something now, they want to be rewarded for it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereby not understanding the fact of if you lay a good foundation now, right, you will be eating from that foundation for the rest of your life. Like I'm sure, like there's a lot of IBs that's on my book as well. These guys are sitting with their clients for the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Gee.
You know what I mean? They don't need to get new clients. They simply servicing their old clients, right? Why? Because for them, it's the key thing of if I know these guys are fine, right? These guys are trading well. These guys are educated. They serviced. They will keep on generating rebates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of guys that they literally became mentors themselves as well. And I'm sure like basically followed on that thing.
Yeah.
But like especially when looking for like mentors and things like this, like I always like look at these pages and things like this, and where like I question myself as to sure, like these are your results that you're pushing out, but like show some of your students. You know what I mean? Show what these other guys are doing. You know what I mean? That you have taught, because most of the guys can only show their own things. You know what I mean? They can't show like the student stuff and everything like this. You know what I mean? Which there's a very small amount that can actually do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's true. Gee, like when you actually think about it, this actually just makes me very sad. Actually, like it's so
it's a sad
saddening.
story.
Yeah, it's very sad.
And where it started, right? And sure, like where I think it started, where is like especially sure, like I'm sure, like I'm trying to how can I say this without mentioning names?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I know exactly where you're going. I think I know exactly where you're going.
So where this started is with it was with one broker.
Yeah.
Right. Like I used to work for this broker
Yeah,
way
yeah.
back when. One broker that fulfilled these type of deals. Right. These guys created these type of things with I'm sure not created, but they made it popular, so to say, amongst like some of the guys that had a good client base, had a big client base. You know what I mean? Because sure, like one scary part, especially when it came to certain deals, right? And like this is where I was sure, like I know I was back in 2017. And I was sitting at my desk and we were discussing this one IB, right? This IB's target was 2 million rand per month that he was supposed to bring in, right? And it was his responsibility to make sure that the client's funds are blown. Between this IB and the broker, they split the losses 50-50.
Sure.
Like now, you get this from there, right? Then this IB, of course, like he speaks to his friends, everything like this. One guy comes, hey, but this is possible.
Okay.
Right? He wants the same deal. He wants to do the same thing. But now, because of competition within the broker space as well, right? Let's say like an IB goes to another broker, saying, sure, like I can bring you clients, but I'd rather go to these guys because they're offering me this, and this. You know what I mean? So now you get some guys that kind of buckle under the pressure, or they say, okay, cool, let's do more for you, right? And they do the same deals. You know what I mean? That's why you will always see a group of guys with one broker,
Yeah.
and they're always heavily invested with this broker. You know what I mean? So sure, like especially there's one red flag. That's like where guys are pushing you, sign up with here, sign up there. You know what I mean? And key thing is, yeah, sure. Like you have an IB link, you wanna get rebate, sure. Like let's do free signal, sign up with my link, and then I'll rather take rebates and then you get the service for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which sure, perfectly fine. But now you get guys in a very forceful way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fund your account, they blow your account, fund your account, they blow your account.
Like, do you understand? Like, I think we've just lost the plot completely. Like, if people actually understood, I don't know. I was talking with I know there are certain brokers that are very heavy on education, providing educational content for their clients. You know, as well as also the sponsor of the show Octa as well is very heavy on that. And I know one of the main reasons they do that is because there's a particular understanding is that if somebody can trade for 10 years, if somebody can trade for 10 years, I mean, I'm thinking about it right now. If the brokers are functioning in that particular way, now then you find an IB thinking that you can just wash a client right now and move on. I mean, at some point, I mean, look at how the industry's been. You've been around for quite some time. There's cycles in the industry. Things are changing. Getting clients is not like before. People are tired.
Yeah, exactly.
People are tired.
That's like back then. Especially like when I used to teach, right? Like I used to have free classes and everything, and we used to do this via Zoom. Plus, we used to, I think I had like once a month, like in person, right? But weekly we used to have Zoom.
Okay.
Per week, like I used to have 20, 30 students.
Okay.
Right? For the in-person ones, like I could have up to 50 guys in there. Right? And that is with no flexing, with no, I'm sure like there was no cause on social media, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And guys wanted, they saw the value of the education, right? Because they knew if I get the education, right, I can actually build a life. I can actually build on this, right? But now you get the guys that actually, they'll rather run for the guy with a smart car, for this one or that one, right? Because they think, okay, cool, if I follow you, I'll get that car, right? But if you look at the truth of the matter, that car's not even that guy's.
Yeah, no, that is so true. You know, I have a quote here: "The delicate balance of mentoring someone is not creating them in your own image, but giving them the opportunity to create themselves."
Exactly.
But also, this is also I see this from two sides, actually, if I can put it like that. From the guys who are looking at the guys with the cars, they want to be like that, but unaware that, hey, wherever you go, you're not trying to be like that person. A person's supposed to create, give you opportunities for you to become your own person, and people don't want to become their own. I mean, I met a kid the other day, but he was pretty smart, but I was actually fazed by the initial response of what he said. He was like, nah, he's trying to join a particular movement within the industry. I'm like, I looked at him, join a movement.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I was baffled at this point. Then he's like, nah, hear me out. But I think, yes, he had ulterior, because he was like, nah, I know they're not really traders. They're just pushing lifestyle. But he's not particularly a trader. He's like pushing his own things on the side. So he knows he's going to benefit from the lifestyle that's being pushed.
Exactly.
So already you can see it from the outside, but he's trying to get in there, not because of trading, but because of other benefits, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so these people are just rolling around pretending to be traders. And then it's like people want to join them, because by the time you get in there, you're going to find out a lot of people will be surprised, honestly, as to like, actually, not much trading is happening here.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I saw this one YouTuber guy recently, right? He has no trading background, nothing at all, right? Popular guy, had no trading background, nothing. Like I think even like he's an actor or something.
Okay.
Suddenly pop out, join my signal group. So like for me that was very funny.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Key thing is you will have guys that is rushing to this guy. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm sure like there's a lot of guys like this actually that they have no experience in this market.
Yeah.
They have nothing at all. But because they have some type of network, they're like, okay, cool. Like this is a way to get money from these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a way to get something out of these guys. And sure, like a lot of sure, like it's like I kind of say general, like in like especially society today is guys see everything as getting paid. You know what I mean? Like sure, like if I'm not getting paid from this thing, like I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? And that's become with trading as well. Because like especially when teaching someone, you know what I mean? Everyone has different personalities. Everyone has different habits and things like this, you know what I mean? So maybe you have a mentor that's a scalper, but someone is more inclined to swing trading.
Yeah.
You know, so wouldn't it just be better to teach that person how to create a certain strategy? You know what I mean? How can you put together a certain strategy? But thing is, like these days, I'm sure like mentors, so to say, they can't even teach this because their strategy that they have is also something that they got from someone else that was used here, that was used there, you know what I mean? That they're just repurposing, so to say, to sell to you.
Yeah.
But the making up of that thing is actually not really theirs, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, no, let's actually go back. Since we're talking about strategies, let's actually go back to, you get to a point, you turn 100 to 1,000, you lose 1,000 within a week. Now, you need to I'm pretty sure at this point you have seen like the lights. Trading is like, the trading is amazing.
Yeah.
Now you get back into it again. So now what is your way forward, especially after blowing the $1,000? What is your way forward now? What do you do to make sure that you stay in the game?
Exactly. Like especially after that, I spent about 2 months just kind of reflecting on my mistakes. You know what I mean? Looking at the point where I was winning, right? Really checking what I did there because I also kept a journal. You know what I mean? So when I took a trade, actually, like I knew, cool, like this was my target, this was my risk. You know what I mean? There was a point even where I had a certain, like a certain column, like in my journal, where I documented how I felt when I took the trade and when I'm sure like when it hit TP and hit stop loss. You know what I mean? Where I figured you have to be honest with yourself in this game. You know what I mean? Like if you're not honest with yourself, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
And like one thing I saw 2 months after that, like I just started on demo again. You know what I mean? Did demo for like a month.
Yeah.
And figured like I just have to really do the things that worked and like repeat. One way, repeat. It got boring, honestly. It got so boring because you have a strategy that you win 6 times out of 10 or 5 or 7 times out of 10, right? When you hit a loss, cool, the next one can be a loss, the next one can be a winner that's going to make up for this loss.
Yeah.
And it's all about probabilities, you know what I mean? So where it gets boring is when a loss comes, okay, cool, the next one. And that's the point, I think, where you have to get yourself to is when when you enter a trade, there's no second guessing, there's no type of doubt or anything like this. You know what I mean? Only when you get to that point, like when I got to that point after my loss, then I knew like I was on the right path again.
Yeah.
And then also knowing, especially like the times that you do trade, you know what I mean? Like the instruments that you do trade as well.
Yeah.
Because back then, like I was trading, I think it was 13 pairs, like I was looking at them all at once.
Yeah.
13 of them, right? Back then it was fine. You like scan through everything. Perfectly fine. You know what I mean? You're young, you can do this, As I was journaling and seeing, okay, cool, like this is where I made a loss, right? This is where I made a loss, but there's a certain pattern there. Like always, like I know pound USD, right? I would always make a loss when I took a trade at about 12 o'clock, right? When it was around 12 o'clock, right? Then that trade usually ended in a loss. You know what I mean? Then I saw cool, but I'm sure like pound USD, like if I take a trade like around between 9 and 10, then it usually hit my take profit. You know what I mean? So these type of patterns, I'm sure like, and I started to see that. Then I knew that when you have a good timing, because of course it's London Open, there's New York Open, you know what I mean? Because if you dive deeper, like in the sense, you know who's kind of behind the charts as well, you will pick up on these patterns, you know what I mean? But the only way to pick up on these patterns is if you really journal your trades. If you really look at your past history. You know what I mean? That's why, like, I know there's a lot of mentors who will push their students on like a Sunday night. Guys, look at look at your history from the past week. You know what I mean? Check what you did wrong. Check what you're doing right. You know what I mean? Because these are the only ways that you can actually develop yourself, so to say. Because if you know, cool, like if I'm taking a trade at 12 o'clock, I'm losing all the time. Right? You will avoid trades around 12 o'clock.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? You will avoid trades. I'm like at 12 o'clock. And from then, like I literally narrowed down to you how much was the Euro USD and Pound USD.
Sure.
Literally just these two. I'm sure like from 13, 4 months later, like I was just on two. You know what I mean? And I saw a bit better results even. Right? And it was more consistent because now I knew I have to remember the patterns of these two instruments.
Yeah, because what you're basically saying, it's like back testing, but not back testing the market, but back testing yourself.
Exactly. Because when you back test as well, right? Like a lot of people, they back test the strategy, but they only look at the winners for some reason. Like I've done this before. And I only look at the winners the whole time like this, and where the losers creep in when you start trading live. The first signal you take from a strategy, you start losing. And you're like, man, I missed something. Like, what's happening here? You know what I mean? But the real, I'm sure, like the real reflection of that thing is in your history. You know what I mean? Because especially back then, like I used to have a strategy, right? That I used to teach to students and everything like this. But the strategy was, how can I say, customizable, so to say. It had a few elements, but students would actually remove or add certain things depending on how they trade and which times they trade, right? And we have seen there's quite a few students that use the strategy like even better than me. Right? Because for them, sure, like this thing worked better on, let's say, pound yen or something like this. They actually really looked at quite a few instruments, saw what worked the best, zeroed in on that, and just killed it all on that, you know what I mean? But key thing was also risk management. You know what I mean? But I'm like proper risk management, not sure, guys. I'm sure, like if you have 2,000, put 500 in this thing, risk the whole 500, and you move. You know what I mean? But really, I'm sure, like the consistent risk management, because like a lot of guys want to make like 20K today. They want to make 50K today. When you tell someone, cool, like let's make 5% a month. Let's make 5% a month, right? To probably, I would say 90% of traders now, This would be something that be like, like how can you sure tell me 5%, like if this one is doubling, I'm sure like getting 100% every month or per week, you know what I mean? But between the 5% and doubling every week, which is the most consistent? Which method does not mess with your psychology more? You know what I mean? Because because sure, most people that came into trading, they want to do it for what? The freedom. You know what I mean? You don't want to be stressing behind a chart because you have 20% risk on this trade or this or that or whatever. You know what I mean? Plus with 5%, sure, like with a 5 or like 10% target or whatever, you know you are trading safely. Because when you're in like a losing streak, you don't lose your funds.
But no risk, no lamb, though.
That's what they sell to us, huh? That's what they sell to us. That's what they sell to us. That's what they sell.
You know, I like what you said, that there's some people that you taught a particular strategy and they took the strategy, spent time with it.
Yeah.
And after spending time with it, they were actually able to produce better results than you could do which is a brilliant thing, which I think a lot of people kind of miss when it comes to strategies. Is that you need to spend time with a particular strategy. And thing is, I think people want to be spoon fed. They want to be told which pair to trade. They want to be told how to exactly
which time. Because the thing is, it's like it's you know, there's a lot of skills, right? There's a lot of skills. It's like there's a lot of practical skills these days, right? That you can never learn by someone showing it to you. You have to be shown, sure, like a few times, but where the true skill comes in is with the practice.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Because you will have your certain way of doing it according to how you see fit, you know. But these days, it's like, sure, like I often see it where especially students come into a group or anything like that. Okay, cool. What lot size must I use? What time frame? Instrument? They want everything like for them there. You know what I mean? But the key thing is, it's like you have to go through the emotions. Yes, like a mentor can kind of shorten the learning curve, right? But you have to go through your emotions. You know what I mean? You have to go through these things to actually learn about yourself, you know? Because the thing is, like, if you're not a patient person, if you someone that sure loves to risk, you have no patience at all, you have to adapt your trading style according to this, you know what I mean? And be fine with it. You know what I mean? Because many different people that I'm sure, like some guys are fine with actually saying, let me dump 2K like into an account and let me risk it all and see what happens.
Because I think what we're talking about right now is that so many people waste so much time. Do you feel like is there any moment in your past where you feel like there was just time wasted doing unnecessary things?
Yeah, sure, so much. So much, because the thing is, like, even now, like I find myself like I can say preaching to myself in a sense of stick to your strategy. Stick to what works, you know what I mean? Because there are times when like how can I say, like when you kind of get like how can I say, like here's your path and you kind of get off path, you know what I mean? When you take different entries from your strategy, when you do these type of things, and where sure, like for me, like in my case, like it's proven over and over. Yes, sometimes like it's winning trades, sometimes losing, but it's best to stick to what works, you know what I mean? Especially for you. You know what I mean? Like, because there was a time I was trading gold and I switched back to USD. That thing messed me up for like 2-3 days, right? But it's a lesson, you know what I mean? As to sure, like stick to what fits, you know? So there was a lot of periods of time where I kind of went off that path, and where I feel sure like this was kind of wasted time as well, because I'm sure, like as humans, we want to see what's on the other side, you know? Because you see sure, like there's a hype about this or this or this. You want to
that's
check it
true.
out, you know?
That's
You
true.
want to check it out. You want to see what's there. Like, is there, sure, like anything good? But then you feel, okay, cool. Like, let's not, like, I can say, flow with the herd. Let's just do our own thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, no, that's great. So let's talk money management. For me, I'm very passionate about money management. I think I speak about money management a lot because I think after sitting down with so many guys, you kind of realize, or you kind of pick up, and I hope the guys also who follow and watch these interviews have also picked up, is that actually everything kind of comes down to how you handle your money.
Yeah.
Because we're dealing with money at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And the aim of the market is to take your money.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to handle your money, someone's going to come take it and someone's going to put it somewhere else and manage it better. You know, if you can't deal with money properly, someone will take it away from you because you're not a good caretaker of that money. Yeah. So how has your money management strategy been over the years?
There's a famous quote that says, the market is all about taking money from the impatient to the patient.
Yeah.
From the non-disciplined to the disciplined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially like money management, risk management. Sure, like in general life, right? And in like, how can I say, like our day-to-day. You know what I mean? Like I always made sure that with my, how can I say, like with my monthly things, these are covered. You know what I mean? Like I won't trade with cash that I actually need for my rent or for this or for whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because this also adds to some emotions and things like this. You know what I mean? Because thing is, especially with FX, like with Forex, this thing doesn't need any desperation. You know what I mean? Once you get desperate, sure, like your cash is taken from you.
It's over.
It's done. Sure, like if you desperate for money, you need like sure, like 10K by Friday. You have 2K now, and you wanna flip that, you're gonna lose it.
And I think the worst thing to happen is when somebody falls under the impression that, hey, look, I do this from week to week.
Yeah.
Whenever I need quick cash, go to the market, take it, cool, done. And then they just fall into this belief that, hey, no, this is how things are done. And I think at some point it just catches up, you know? Yeah. Because like literally going to the casino, it's like, hey, I need to make quick cash.
Exactly.
Slots. I know people who I know, you know, Aviator.
Yeah.
I know people who play Aviator and quite good actually at it, you know, and they play it. And I look at these guys, I'm like, hey, actually, this is no different than trading. How our traders actually functioning.
Exactly.
Yeah. So nah, that's true. That's
true.
No,
100%. And it's sure. Like I like always believe it's like there's a formula.
Yes.
Right, there's a formula that you can calculate your like how can I say, like your risk of ruin, right? Of like a certain amount of trades, right? So you can basically sure like you'll input some numbers like your first your starting balance, your risk per trade, and X and Y and Z, right? Then this formula will actually calculate over how much trades you will actually blow your account. You know what I mean? Now, what I use is knowing that if I take 100 losses, that's the only time I will blow my account. You know what I mean? So moving from the first point to our interview was, sure, like, is that the only account I blew? Yeah. By using logic and math, so to say, knowing that if I stick to this formula, right? If I stick to this risk management, I will have to lose 100 trades, then I'll blow my account. You know what I mean?
Some people only need one.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So if you're a beginner, you know what I mean? Extend that to 200 trades, 300 trades, you know what I mean? Because key thing is, it's like, who's going to lose 100 trades in a row? Who's gonna do that?
Yeah, the probabilities of that actually happening
is low.
It's near
Yeah.
impossible. If it
Yeah.
happens, then it's like it's
Yeah,
extremely
you
rare.
the problem. I was like, you the toxic one. But now the thing is, now my question is this, right? My question is this. Why do we have so much losers?
But you see, Robin, just to take the people's side right now, people don't have money. I think that
Then people should not be trading.
don't say that.
No,
You can't
seriously.
say that.
No, seriously, sure. Like, this may sound harsh, right?
Yeah.
This may sound harsh. Like, and I'm like, that's why I'm sure, like, at the broker that I work at, we have $100 minimum deposit.
Okay.
Right? But for me, that's too low. Right? I'm sure, like, we had some internal discussions and everything. I'm really supporting that we raise it to 500. Right? $500 minimum deposit. When I started trading, right, most brokers would only accept 500 as a minimum deposit.
Yeah, I remember
Right?
around those times. Yeah.
And you will get the, how can I say, as they call it, like the institutional brokers. These guys' minimum deposit is $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. You know what I mean? Thing is, and so, like, this is also the problem, like within the FX industry, is that the like the level of access, right, is too low, right? Like, because you can access it so easy. You know what I mean? Like, you can access this market so easy, and sure, like, it's not for everyone. You know what I mean? Yes, like, if you have $100, you want to risk it there, perfectly fine, do it. But if you want to actually call yourself like a trader, so to say, learn some skills, save up some money. You know what I mean? Because sure, like, this may sound harsh to a lot of people. I'm sure, like, guys watching probably, probably swearing at this point right now, but these are the guys that only have $300, $400, $500 that want to make a lot of money. You know what I mean? But especially with this market, with any financial market, you know what I mean? It's a patient game. You know what I mean? And most people do not want to hear it. Why? Because there's guys selling that you can do it within a few weeks or whatever. You know what I mean? Which is possible. Like, it's not impossible. But the thing is, like, if you want to last, like, in this game for, like, a very long time, because if you think about it, the guys that are mentors now, when did they start? 3 years ago, 2 years ago, you know what I mean? Like, some 4 years ago, you know? But the thing is, it's like, if you want to have, like, a very long-term type of plan, you have to think long-term, you know what I mean? And you have to start with a good capital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, the best thing, and this may sound like old advice, so to say, but like, get some cash together. You know what I mean? Learn the skill, do on a demo account, whatever. Then only like, be strict with yourself. You know what I mean? Because like, I've been through this a few times. Once you do this, you actually feel much better, like, about your trading. And the beautiful part of it is that you actually end up making more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the one thing that I can truly tell you from the back end, from what I've seen of most of these popular guys, like, trading wise, they're not making money. There's a few, like, in our industry that I actually do admire, that are trading, that are very transparent and things like this. You know what I mean? They actually share the results of, like, themselves, their students and things like this, you know. They actually have a good track record that they do show. But there's a lot of guys who actually just, they flex, they show the hype and everything like this.
So, on that, what are the characteristics that you have observed over time of a mentor that's not making money on the chart? I know a lot of people aren't going to like that question. They don't like that question. It's like, Nqobile, what are you doing now? But what are some of the characteristics?
Look for a green car, man. Nah, just kidding. Or blue one.
Yeah.
Nah, but the key thing, it's like, sure, like with the normal choice, you know what I mean? Put your emotions, your desperation aside.
Okay.
Right? Put that aside. I do not go after the flashy things and everything like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does this person have a track record? Yes. Sure. Fine. No. Fakey. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure, like the way they treat their students as well. You know what I mean? Because you will see some guys actually, they spend time with their guys. You know what I mean? Yes, you pay for your service, you get their time and everything like that. You know what I mean? Guys that actually care about their clientele. You know, guys that actually want you to succeed. You know what I mean? And sure, like it's how can I say, when you simply put their emotions aside, the desperation, you will actually look at it for what it truly is. You know what I mean? And sure, like as this person shared trading results on a consistent basis over like a good period of time. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of guys that you will see their pages are full of what? Cause, lifestyle, everything like this. No trading, but sign up with my link. You know what I mean? Sign up for my course, you know what I mean? So these type of things, like sure, like to me it's logical, but like sometimes we just have to, it's like especially like as people, right? If you're not that desperate, then yeah, sure. And also I'm sure like if these guys have like a free trial or something, you know what I mean? Especially like with the signals group, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we need free trials.
Yeah.
Like, I think free trials need to be implemented a bit more.
Exactly.
Guys don't have that, because the moment you step inside that signal group,
yeah,
after you've paid,
you will see flames. Man. You will see the winning ones. That is posted like on social media. When you're in there, it's like guys didn't even lose to take the winning ones. It's all the losing ones. Account blown, man.
Yeah, no, but I think a lot of guys should start even like 7-day trial periods. Like literally, I think show people that, hey, look.
Exactly.
Not. I think I'm so against this thing of go look on my Instagram. My results are there.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know about that.
This is another. How can I say? Especially with trades and things like this. Especially like the guys that are very close to brokers, like very close to brokers. They go on holiday with the people that is working at the brokers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because did you know guys can manipulate the trading history?
Which one is this one?
Guys can manipulate trading history.
Don't say that.
Nah, guys can manipulate trading history. Like, it's how can I say?
Wait, are we talking MT?
MT4. Let me just check. Where's the Nasdaq price now, right? Or I'm sure like where's the gold price? Where's the gold price, right? So gold is now at 2295, right?
Okay.
Yesterday the low was around 2265, right? 2265. So like it's today, but if I have the right access, right, I can put a trade in yesterday at the low, and it would reflect the profits like it's now. Process. So especially like a lot of these guys saying sniper entries and this and that. I'm not gonna say like there's a lot you can do. Honestly.
Guys, mind you, I usually find out things before we shoot. I find out things off camera. You guys are like, you're seeing me. This is usually me when I find out a lot of things on. Nah. I don't know. That is, yeah.
Yeah, like it's scary. Like,
Yeah,
like,
it's
like,
very scary.
literally, right? Literally, like, how can I say, especially within this market, you should, like, as a person that is wanting to trade, have trust issues, man.
But who do we trust though at this point?
No one.
But
Like literally no
no,
one.
but I get what you're saying though, and this for me, it's very serious because you understand. I always have the opportunity of sitting down across from different individuals, whether or not whatever. Some of them come with their own scandals and whatnot. Regardless of that, but it's like, who do we really trust at this point in the game? Because if that's the case, if people can go to that level of faking results, like,
Yep. Yeah. I think we need a moment of silence.
no, for real, no, because this one I've never heard before,
Yeah.
and this one
No,
for
but
me,
it's true. It's
yeah,
true.
but I do understand with
Yeah.
the right access, and,
Yeah.
I think this would probably be like upper level access, not just
So sure, like the one program that controls like sure, like the MetaTrader
Yes.
terminals. You call it the MT4 or the MT5 manager.
Oh yes,
Right.
yes,
So
yes.
these are the things that like brokers can actually, they can see the spreads and things like this. They can see the clients, the clients trading histories and whatever. Right. The one upper from that is this is of course sure, like the MT admin.
Oh yeah.
Right, so the MetaTrader admin. On this platform, you can literally insert trades wherever, at whichever price, at whichever date that you want to. You can delete history. You can, sure, you can do whatever. You know what I mean? Sure, like there was a guy that came to me 2 weeks back.
Yeah.
And he asked me, sure, like it was like, Robin, like how's this possible? This broker, they deleted my whole history from my MT5, from MT5, and they didn't want to pay me. They deleted his history so that he doesn't have proof of his trades, so that they don't have to pay him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and literally, his mentor, which was very close, he told him, "No, don't worry, we'll get it sorted out," but nothing happened. You know what I mean? And he thought it was a glitch of some sort. He
Yeah.
asked me, like, is this possible? Like, sure, I could ask him to send me some screenshots or anything like that. He's like, look here, like, I funded this account. I funded this account, but everything is gone. Everything is gone. The one recourse is to run to the regulators, man.
Yeah.
To run to the regulators.
Yeah, and I think the FSCA right now, they really like,
Yeah.
they coming.
Yeah, exactly.
They coming.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
slowly, but the moment they get
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. But sure, like I feel they could get like maybe a bit more stricter in a sense.
yeah,
Especially with the ODP thing that came in, which is perfect on their part as well. Just like having some stricter like regulations like in the market. I feel sure, like this is a long shot, but I feel as well that some education providers, signal providers, things like this, I feel they also need to be under some type of like
100%,
regulation body.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because if you like if you start like a university, you need some type of accreditation.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
true.
I mean? So your mentor that's having a course, I don't think this should be any different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Signals, that's financial advice. Because you're saying, buy here or sell here or whatever. I think especially guys like this also should at least have some sort of certificate.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because once we get to this type of level, then yes, like it will be more difficult for the brokers to actually enable like some type of toxic behavior or things like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. So let's go back to the charts.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go back to the charts. Yeah, no, that was quite a lot actually, and I think my only before we go to the charts, my only thing is that at this point, who do we trust? Like, I know you say we trust no one, but
yeah. Now you trust yourself. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
you literally trust yourself. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like in the sense of, because sure, in SA there are still quite a few good mentors out there.
yeah,
There's still quite a few good mentors out there, and you can literally see it within like the normal behavior, man. Like it's how can I say, you can get your best hedge fund, right? These guys will promise you, not promise you, but they will show returns of like 16-17% for the year, right? Now you get guys that are saying, hey, we can do 100% a day. You know what I mean? Sometimes things that are too good to be true are too good to be true, you know what I mean? But you do get a lot of mentors that actually teach proper concepts, you know what I mean? And actually do take their students through the whole picture to let them formulate themselves, their own strategies and things like this, you know?
Yeah, and no, I like yes. And as much as we say, it's easy to, it's possible, not easy, but possible to do those 100% in a day.
Yeah.
But and there are people out there who have taken the cross of showing people that carrying the cross and be like, hey, look, guys, 100% a day is possible.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I get that. But for how long though?
Yeah, exactly.
For how long?
Exactly.
I think people kind of forget the sustainability of
Yeah.
that particular of doing things that way.
There is a way though.
Yeah.
There is a way. There's so like I always say, it's like this world sometimes is made up of logic.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And there is a way, yes, to target like 100% a day from something, but knowing you're gonna risk 100%. Because I mean, if your 100% is, let's say you're gonna do 100% and it's in 500 points, knowing like if it goes into drawdown, like 500 points, you lost everything. You know what I mean? But there's ways of splitting your money, things like this, to actually do that. But the key thing is, like I said again, no strategy is 100%.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a loss. You're gonna get a break even. You're not always gonna hit your target. You know what I mean? So you have to take all these type of factors into account. You know what I mean? When actually saying, okay, cool, let me go that route. You know, for me, why I wouldn't, because imagine sitting there with so much emotion every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And sure, like psychologically, this doesn't really build you as a person, because once you're done trading and you do something else, right? You will like subconsciously you will expect that same result. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, it's like if we learn patience like in one area like of our lives, you know what I mean, we will automatically and not knowingly apply that to various areas as well. You know what I mean? That's why, especially with traders, they aim and they're the most toxic bunch.
Yeah.
When it's relationships wise or things like this, they're the most toxic bunch, right? Because it's like, why? Because when you're trading, right, your balance is going like this, your emotions are going crazy, haywire, you know what I mean? Now they're coming out of that to somewhere else in their lives. It's like, it's sure, like they literally come with the same energy there.
Yeah.
They literally come with the same energy.
Yeah, no, that's true. So what's your approach to when you open the charts? What are we looking at? What is your approach?
Yeah, so especially first thing I do is I look at gold. Right? Like I first look at gold. I first look at it's the 1 hour chart. I first look at the 1 hour chart, check where we are, like like the direction and where the charts have gone like for the last few days, right? Like I have like one EMA that I actually put on sure like my chart, right? So this one like I'll monitor as well, and then I'll scale down to actually sure from 1 hour 15 minutes and then the 3 hour then the 3 minute chart. Right, from the 3 minute chart, sure like I look for an entry between roughly like between 11 o'clock and about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right, and that's where I've seen like the time, especially for gold, where when I take an entry like on my strategy, usually like it moves into profits quite quickly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We're sure like where I will sure like when I enter the trade, then I move back to my 15-minute chart because the candles are not as wild as the 3-minute chart. So this also helps with actually patience, you know what I mean? Because with like the 15-minute chart, like a 300-point move on gold, it's like very small, you know what I mean? But if this is on a 3-minute chart, like it's actually quite a big candle.
Yeah.
You know, so it just helps with the psychology actually to keep trades till the ETP, you know.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's great. Pretty simple, straight to the point.
Yeah, no, it's sure. Like I said, it's boring. It's so boring, man. Honestly, it's so boring.
I think you fell asleep when you were talking. All right. And then what is one loss that you've taken on the charts where you look at it and you're like, yeah, nah, that loss was not necessary. That.
Like I said earlier, it's when I steered away from my strategy.
Okay.
When it's like, I can say, because sure, like because I work with IBs and things like this, so like I'm part of some of the groups and stuff like this. But then you see some IBs like, sure, fire signal, sell this one, sell that one. Then like, okay, cool, let me take it. Like it doesn't comply with my strategy, so to say, but let me take it.
Yeah.
When you have taken that loss, then like, let me stick with my strategy. Let me stick with it. Yeah, let me stick with it. So that's like kind of the thing. Because my thing always, like when I use my strategy and I do take a loss, which I do.
Yeah.
Right. And I do take a loss. Sure, it's much easier to take. You know what I mean? Because this was your choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not someone else's instruction. It's your choice. You set up with the thing. But the recent thing that I actually found, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, right? And I'm sure, like, you know, some guys, I'm sure, like, they have a promise of, sure, like, it's like 100% guaranteed, no loss, things like this. Where I actually saw, instead of setting a stop loss, right? Now, there's also a certain formula to this.
Okay.
Right? So let's say you sell, right? Let's say you sell. Now, when you also look at your journal, right? And when you look at the chart, most likely, if you have a stop loss of about 200 or 300 points and it hit your stop loss, there's a lot of the times when it went further, you know what I mean, by 300-400 points.
Yeah.
Or like in the popular scenario, that hit your stop loss and came back down past your TP. That happened to me a few times as well, right? Because of course, like stop loss placement, this is the most difficult thing that you can have, you know what I mean? Because some people say, okay, cool, the high, the low, there's certain like things like you use like the ATR values to set your stop loss and things like this, you know what I mean? But whereby actually what I found, and this is actually like a nice secret, it's like for someone that he's kind of knowledgeable, when they use this, they don't have to lose.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when you sell, right? When you sell, let's say you sell by like a 0.1 lot, right? You sell by 0.1 lot. Instead of placing a stop loss, you actually place a buy limit, right? but the lot size is, let's say, 0.12, right? When your buy limit hits, you will place like another sell limit at where your first sell entry is, right? Now, what this allows you to do is when it supposedly hit your stop loss, automatically you hedged into that trade. But if it goes further, you are in profits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, with a popular scenario, when it comes back down, so that's why we will set like a second like limit order there as well, with like a specific lot size. So when it goes and hits that limit, right, and it goes further, you will also make a profit. You know what I mean? Thereby, you won't have to, and it's not like a martingale type of situation. You literally using the art of hedging yourself in and out of trades. You know what I mean? So because most times, and I've seen, and sure, like I've seen this with my personal trading, is that when you place your stop loss, it's like the market loves your stop loss, man. It flirts with your stop loss like crazy and everything like this. But with your TP, like it hates that thing. You know what I mean? It hates that thing. There was so much times where I closed the trade like, and it didn't hit TP, but it went close to it or something like that. Then I did that, but with a stop loss, that thing loves that thing. Sure, like it, like it almost like it smells.
It's like a magnet.
Hey, this guy said the stop loss. Let's go hunt for it. You know what I mean? And sure, like it feels that way.
Yeah.
But that's only because I'm like stop loss placement and sure, like especially like the take profit placement. These are two things that are quite difficult. But for someone to actually, because the most nerve-wracking part of trading is like the trade management. You know what I mean? Because this is the difference between winning and losing. You know what I mean? You can have perfect risk management, but if you can't manage a trade, you can lose a winning trade. You know what I mean? So with this, like it actually allows you to remove the management of this trade. You know what I mean? So knowing whether the market goes up or down, you're either going to come out to, I'm sure, like break even, or you're going to do profit.
Perfect. No, thank you so much. No, Robin, there's still other topics that we'll get into in our part 2. We'll have a part 2 because I think I'm being told it's time now. No, but thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for making time for us to just sit down and talk. And thank you for the knowledge that you've shared as well. And I hope you guys learned something. I learned something today. I was shocked as well today. But apart from being shocked, there's also a few things that I took from the conversation that we had today. And I think thank you once again.
Definitely welcome. You're welcome. Especially part 2, we can dive into some deeper things.
Yes, 100%.
Especially from this one, what we actually sure, like what people want to hear. What people want to hear. But I'm sure, like, thanks so much for having me, man. Like, it was a pleasure actually having this conversation and speaking to you, man.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Nqobile Tembane from Top Traders South Africa, and this was another episode of Market Masters. And a big shout out to our sponsor, Octa, for making all this possible. All right, so see you guys same time, same place next week. And we out.
Awesome. Perfect.